Hi, this is Scott Garibay. Today we're going to be talking about Sunday, January 19th, 2025. Why are we going to talk about that day? Well, it's an incredibly important day for Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, right? And the reason why is it is the last day they will be president if either one of them is elected, okay? On January 19th, 2025, Bernie Sanders will be 83 years old, 4 months and a day. Okay? Joe Biden will be 82 years, 1 month and 30 days old. So that means that if Bernie or Biden are elected, they will be 82 years old. And we need to talk about this. All right, so before we go a step further, let's talk about ageism, all right? So ageism is when you say, hey, you're too old to do X. Right? Now, I'm 100% aware that ageism, like any ism, is a problem, right? It's not fair to tell people that they cannot do something because of their age, right? And I'm against ageism, right? And so I 100% support the laws that allow Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden to run for president. And I would stand against anyone who ever tried to make a law that would not allow anyone of any age to run for president. Okay? So I want to make it clear, I do not stand against laws that allow old people who are older to run for president. Not at any age. I don't think there should be a law that would disallow anyone at any age from running for president. Okay? So I support Bernie Sanders' right to run for president. I support Joe Biden's right to run for president. However, I absolutely do not think they should run for president because of their age. And I'm going to present my case and say why. Okay? I do not believe it has been proven to be safe. Okay? And I also believe there's one other thing about it, and I'll explain that in a moment as well, that is a significant problem. Okay? And so it is my opinion that Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, for the safety of to increase the safety of the nation, should step down and stop their run for presidents, for their run for the presidency. Okay, out of the perspective of a statesperson. As a statesperson, they should look at the situation, see the facts that I've seen, and say, yes, we believe this is a problem as well. We believe there is no evidence to think that this is a safe decision. So let's talk this through, okay? All right. Okay, so I need everyone to understand this, okay? So on January 19th, 2025, Joe Biden is 82 and Bernie Sanders is 83 years old. You need to understand this. Both of these men, right, if they are elected, will be president. Their terms will be starting when the oldest president that has ever served ended. Okay? Ronald Reagan, he took office, when he left in 88, he was 77 years old. Okay? Now, right now, Bernie Sanders is 77 years old, and Joe Biden will be 77 years old when he takes office if he's elected. So so understand, what they are doing has never, ever been done. There has never been a president at the age that either one of these men will have been president. Okay? In fact, the oldest president we've ever had finished before they will be starting, age-wise. Okay? This is uncharted territory. Okay, so let me put that into perspective, okay? They're both doing something that has never been done. All right, so I want to explain something to you, okay? I'm an evangelical Christian. I believe three things that if you're not an evangelical Christian, you do not believe them, right? I believe that the earth is 6,000 years old. I believe that there was a virgin birth. I believe that a man died, crucified on a cross, and then rose to life and walked around and talked to people, right? All right. Every single week, every single month of my life, I strive to tell this to people, and I do tell this to people. And you know what they say to me? They say like, whoa, check yourself, man. Prove it, right? And I'm like, oh, you got me. I can't prove it. Every single thing I told you is a faith claim. I believe these things on faith. I have believed them on faith since the day I was 15 years old. They have transformed my life. They're the most valuable thing in the world to me. These beliefs, everything that's good in my life has come from these beliefs, right? But I can't prove a single one of them to you. I'm presenting them to you as a faith claim, right? And I'm trying to inspire you to believe the same and change your life in the way that my life has been changed through evangelical Christianity, okay? Through Jesus Christ, right? Right? It's a faith claim, right? Guess what? Guess what? That's what Joe Biden is calling you to. That is what Bernie Sanders is calling you to. They are calling you to a faith claim, a faith claim, a faith claim that it is safe to have an 82-year-old president today. That both of them are saying, trust me, this has never been done. I cannot show you a single shred of proof that in the year January 19th, 2025, it will be safe for there to be an 82-year-old president, right? But I want you to have faith in me. I want you to have faith in senior citizens. I want you to have faith, right, in the Pepsi commercial, in the Six Flag commercial, that 82-year-old people can dance around and go to raves and do everything that a regular young person can do, right? All right, now I hear you. I can hear you already. You're like, well, hey, listen, slow down, Scott. You don't, the president's job is not a physical job. Wrong. The president's job is absolutely a physical job. And guess what? The job today is more physical than it has ever been, okay? I'll explain why. All right, so one, if you think for a second, so even the things that you think aren't physical are physical, okay? There is an incredible amount of stress in being the United States president, especially today. I believe the job is harder than it has ever been. And the reason why is people think that we're electing the U.S. president. We're not. We're electing the king or the queen of the world, right? I have people on my Facebook page, Canadians, who post more in a month about American politics than I've ever seen them post in their entire lives about Canadian politics. The whole rest of the world cares about our politics. And the reason why is just minor aspects of laws we make change the economy of entire nations, right? This job is harder than it has ever been. In addition to that, in the 60s and the 70s and even in the 80s, the media was an ally to the president. They would often hide facts to the president. Now, the media is a predator to the president, right? They will tear the president apart, right? Doesn't matter if they're red or blue, right? They are looking for blood on the floor, right? And when they find it, they will show it to the world. It is gotcha politics now from the media, right? They are looking for the slightest slip, and they will cut a candidate the minute they see a weakness, right? And that's every minute of every day. If you choose the wrong dog, if you wear the wrong tie, you will be cut mercilessly, right? And that's every minute of every day. And that is 100 times worse today than it has ever been. And that takes a physical and mental, and in my opinion, spiritual toll, right? We can all ignore the spiritual toll. I know not everybody's evangelical Christian. I get that. Take that part out, right? So it takes a physical and a mental toll, right? We saw this. And we're supposed to believe. So, also let me say, right? I'm an evangelical Christian. Every single one of my kids is vaccinated. I understand that my faith beliefs, I do not have the right to endanger others, right? So I make sure my kids are vaccinated. And I give as much respect to science as I possibly can, right? But to tell the truth, I am a Christian, right? So that's the issue, right? And that's where we're at right now. We can't ignore science. And it is a very specific fact that stress tears down the body and tears down the mind, right? And that the older you get, the less resistance you have to put up with that, right? So that's a fact, okay? But we don't even even if I grant you, right, that many aspects are non-physical, which I totally disagree, right? But let's talk about the real physical one, right? The job right now is going to be more physical than ever. And the reason why is you have to travel. You have to travel a lot. You have to do international travel. And when you go into many international places today, you have to get immunizations, special shots, right? And there are diseases that can, if the president has to, like right now, right? I just recently listened to a celebrity who went to Africa. They had to get special immunizations, right? Because there are diseases there that are not in other nations, right? And each nation, if somebody came from Africa to here, you'd have to get special immunizations as well. So the U.S. president is a world traveler and often goes to some of the worst places, the most dangerous places, right? For a normal, vigorous young person, that's not a big idea, right? But can anyone say at 83 years old, we can expect somebody to be gallivanting all over the globe, exposing themselves to diseases that are not in their own nation? That does not seem safe. It does not seem safe, right? In addition to that, the job that is being taken over will be more physical than ever. We know this for a fact, right? And the reason why is AOC, right? AOC has been, and every other Democrat out there who's Jay Inslee and everybody who's a climate change advocate, like who is really an environmentalist, right, is saying, hey, you better recognize, right, we're going to continue to have major weather issues, right? There are going to continue to be fires in California. There are going to be storms in Florida. There are going to be, environmental disasters all over this country. And when that happens, guess what? The president at 83 years old is going to put on their jacket, get out of bed, helicopter in, and walk around in a bunch of trash that are strewn with nails that'll give you tetanus, right? Like, it is going to be an incredibly physical job. It will be more physical than ever. And the president has to do that physical work, right? They're going to need to hand out, crates of water, right? It's important, right? The nation needs to see the president physically helping people, right? Is it fair to ask an 83-year-old candidate to hand out water in the middle of a storm-strewn wasteland? Because that's what we ask of our presidents right now. Donald Trump's already done it, right? And this is, and get this, at 83 years old, okay, this is a decade past the age Trump's been doing this at, okay? So Sanders and Biden will be a decade older than the age at which Trump was doing this, right? So the job is going to be incredibly physical. We already know that because of climate change, right? All right, so this is the issue, so every single time Joe Biden asks you to vote for him, he is calling you to a faith claim. He is saying, I am guaranteeing you that I will not die he's saying, be confident, I will not die during my term as president, right? It's never been done, right? I will be starting at an age that is past when the oldest president ended. What I am doing has never been done. I can give you no evidence that this is safe because it has never, ever been done, right? This is pure speculation that this is a safe choice, right? And here's the thing. Oh, can we do a science study? No, we can't. Right? Like, it's all models. It's all theories. There's no proof, right? You can't do this experiment, right? And get this. So that's the issue is Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are calling you to a faith claim that their run as president will be safe. That an 83-year-old president, which is what we are guaranteed to have if Sanders is elected, that an 82-year-old president, which is what we are guaranteed to have if Joe Biden is elected, is safe, okay? Now, here's the issue, right? I make faith claims every week, every month, telling people you should really be a Christian, right? And the reason why is not because the reason why is this is, every single good thing that's ever come in my life has come from this. And when I die, I'm going to have an eternity in heaven. And I want you to have that too. And I want to shake your hand in heaven, right? And that's perfectly fine for me to call somebody to a faith claim to say, I think that your life should be transformed from a religious perspective, right? But when we are talking about national politics, right? When we are talking about having a president that serves atheists and agnostics and evangelical Christians and Muslims and Satanists, right? Is it fair to say I'm basing my run on a faith claim? Shouldn't there be scientific evidence, right? I get my kids vaccinated because I don't think it's fair for my event. And actually, I don't even believe that Christianity says there's anything wrong with vaccinations. But my point is, I am part of society, right? And there's a point where, and I will tell you, hey, I think you should change your religious beliefs based on a faith claim. But I am not going to tell you that you need to vote on a faith claim that you don't even share, right? And that's the issue, right? This is a faith claim. They are saying, I want you to be inspired to vote for me and to believe in your heart, right? That it's safe for there to be an 83-year-old president, and that when there is a massive hurricane or like a massive storm that sweeps in from Florida, that an 83-year-old president is going to chop her down, slog through an absolute devastated mess with shafts of wood, and that have tetanus nails sticking out of them, and I'm gonna take off my shirt and roll up my sleeves and hand out water to the devastated people the way every other president has done, that is safe, and that I'm gonna be safe, and that those people are gonna be safe. And you know what? I guarantee you, right? I know Joe Biden and I know Bernie Sanders because I watch them a lot. And both of those guys at 82 and 83 years old, they're going to be on that chopper. They're going to slog through that wasteland mess that's down there, right? Which is guaranteed to be there at a higher rate than there was in every other election period, right? And they're going to pick up that crate of water, right? And the reason why is they're not going to want to show weakness. They're not going to want to say, you made a mistake when you elected me, right? And man, I'll tell you right now, when Joe Biden, when Joe Biden picks up a crate of water at 82 years old, every single person who voted him in is going to have that on their conscience, saying, was this safe for Joe Biden? Was this safe for this nation? Right? This is a real question, right? Ageism is a real problem, and I am against ageism. Absolutely no one has the right to take away, no one can take away the right of Joe Biden to run, of Bernie Sanders to run. But every American can say to Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, stop calling us to a faith claim. Do the right thing as a statesperson, and please do not set a precedence for an 82-year-old president. This is not safe, and in my opinion, this is not safe for Bernie Sanders. This is not safe for Joe Biden, right? And these are just sheer facts, right? We know that the job is going to be more physical than ever. We know that the media is going to put more strain on these people. We know that the responsibilities of the job are far more likely to give you an ulcer, are far more likely to cause you medical level strain, right? We saw it. We saw it right in front of our eyes with Obama. It was like you could see him aging daily, right? And here's the issue. Both Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are basing their runs on a faith claim, and they're calling every voter to a faith claim, and they need to stop. Both of them need to be noble statespeople and step back and say, this is not safe for me. This is not safe for the nation. That's my opinion. And I would really love to hear what you're saying, what you think on the issue. I also am incredibly aware of this ageism thing, right? If you think I got any of this wrong, I invite your correction, right? Let me know in the bottom, right? I strive to make everything I'm saying accurate and fair, right? And when I'm wrong, I'm more than willing to hear it. I'm more than willing to correct it, okay? But I don't think I'm wrong here. I truly don't, right? That's my opinion. I'd love to hear you. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.